Hey guys, today I'm gonna be showing you a little sew with me on how I made this dress. This is not a tutorial, but let's get started. The first thing I did was make this bustier top. I don't know if I'm saying that right, oh my gosh, but I'm making the top. I bought a pattern on Etsy for it and I cut out 4 pieces for the front, and then I did 2 panels for the back, and I'll attach it with a zipper at the end. But right now I'm just pinning where the cups are, so it's kind of hard to see in this angle, but just wait, you'll see it clearer. But I'm just pinning where my boob part will be and I'm gonna sew along that angle. This was the most difficult part for me because you have to really sit your wrist weird to sew it. So I just pinned it as well as I could with enough space as I could, so that way when I put it under the sewing machine, it'll just follow along that pin and it'll pin it into place. So now I'm just threading my sewing machine and I'm going to place the first pin underneath and just sew it along those pins. So it goes kind of like in a round shape. That way you can make the little 3D puff out part for your breast. And then I just sew around that. And it's pretty simple, especially if you have the pattern. If you need a pattern, just search bustier top pattern and it'll give you the little cutouts. But I just printed mine out, cut the fabric, and followed the pin. So now I'm just going to do the same thing for the other side. So I'm placing the round cup of the piece, connecting it to the straight piece, and pinning it right side together to really get that 3D shape. As you can see, this is a more clear view. I'm trying to keep both of the edges together. So even though one piece is rounded at the end and one is straight, you're sort of pinning that together to really make that puff shape. So now let's open it. Now you can see what I was talking about, how it has the little pockets for your breast. So it really comes together well once you get it together. At first it looks difficult, but once you sew it, it looks nice. Now I'm going to cut out the back panel pieces. I'm going to attach that to the sides of the sort of like the side pieces of the shirt. Once I attach that, I'll add the zipper onto the back, connecting the whole thing around. But as you can see, I'm putting them right side together, pinning it, and then just gonna run it through the sewing machine, and most of the shirt will be complete. So I decided to add another piece to the back on each side just because it wasn't fitting around my body when I tried it on, and I really wanted it to fit. So I just cut out another piece that would fit my measurements and added that on to the end. Very simple. If you want to make it smaller, you don't have to add this. If you want to make it bigger, add it. And there you go. That's the whole top. And now we're going to connect it to the bottom skirt. So for the skirt, it was pretty simple. I had two pieces of fabric and I connected them down the side seams. I left space at the bottom for a little slit, and then I added space at the top so I didn't sew there so that I can add the zipper. So here I added it together. I just sewed it right sides together and flipped it inside out, and here it goes. So next I'm going to work on the hem of the skirt. I just pinned it and flipped it. This is the slit, so I really want it to be nice and neat. So I just pinned it, you know, obviously making your hem pretty self-explanatory. Then you're gonna sew down the line, and that way your hem won't fray. Next is the zipper. I just placed the zipper at the length of which I wanted it to be. So I measured it and then bought that zipper length. And then I zipped it on there and it looks so nice coming together. Here is it before I do some like final adjustments and adding the halter top. So I just cut out a normal piece of fabric and hemmed it on both sides. That way it's very even and neat. So I just sewed it underneath, and here's the halter top. Here's the final look. Oh my god, I love it. It's very 1950s. This is my first time ever making this dress, but thank you so much for watching.